I'm going to switch speeds now, going from my bass flies to my trout flies. I'm planning a trip to the Bighorn in Montana, and this is a fly that I've had very good success with in late August and early September. It's a black caddis emerger, and I fish it below a hopper, so it's fished as a hopper dropper rig. As you can see, it has a green abdomen. It has kind of a little shell back, has a black tail that you can't see very well, and then a black thorax with the appearance of legs coming off of them. I tie this pattern on a size 18 hook, a heavy hook, because I fish it as a nymph, or as an emerger, I guess I should say. And I'm using black 14/0 thread. And what I've done is I've started my thread, and now I'm going to tie in some extra fine gold wire, if I can get it cut here. Okay. I'm just going to run that down the side of my hook, but I'm not going to take it all the way right now. I'm going to take it about halfway. And then I'm going to use a black light bright for the back and tail. And you don't want to use very many strands of this, because you want that strip down the back to be pretty narrow, and the tail doesn't want to be big and bushy. It just wants to have a few strands hanging off. So I'm going to tie this down. Wait, I'm going to do this a different way. I'm sorry. I'm going to tie this in like this. So I have the shell back to work with. And as you can see, I'm going to take this clear back around the bend of the hook, so it looks like the tail is curving downward. Now I'm going to tie this off, but I'm going to keep it separate from the tail. And I do that by just making a little loop around it and pulling it upward. For my abdomen, I use a Spirit River product, a mottled nymph blend in the light olive. Now you can use any light olive dubbing that you want on this. it really doesn't make any difference. So I'm going to make a dubbing noodle. Out of this green dubbing. And tie it in. And work it up the abdomen. Now I'm going to take my light bright and pull it over the center of my abdomen, the top of it, keeping it on top and tying it down. And then cutting the remainder off. Next, take your wire, and what I like to do is I'm going to make a half hitch in this. So that I can use my rotary vise to spin this wire in even space segments, moving up the abdomen. Like that. And then tie that off. And then snip off the excess. So you're going to have a segmented body with the black light bright forming kind of a shell back on it. For the thorax, I'm going to use a Montana Fly product, Phoenix dubbing, in the black peacock. Again, you can use any dubbing that you want. I like this because it gives it a real rough appearance. So again, I'm going to make a dubbing noodle with this peacock, black peacock, and wrap it on as my thorax. That wanted to break off, didn't it? Okay, so I'm going to take a little more of it. Continue the dubbing noodle. tie it in. And then tie it off. And whip finish it. Go ahead and cut your thread. And then give it a little haircut. You don't want to cut it too close, because especially on the bottom, you want it to look like legs, and that light bright will catch air bubbles and make it a very realistic looking nymph. So the last process is you've got this tail hanging here, and I'm going to cut it straight across. About 1/16 of an inch. And so that's kind of what your fly is going to look like. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a like and wish me luck on the bighorn. And we'll see you next time.